Welcome back to We Need to Talk with Dr. Darcy Sterling, where I give you the tools and skills you need to love better so you can live better. I recently told my daughter, who is not married, that I hope the partner she ultimately chooses is strong enough to not just love today's version of her, but to love all the future versions of her that she's going to grow into throughout her entire life. And I hope that that partner is secure enough in themselves to allow her to grow into her brightest self, whatever that looks like. I basically told her that I want her future partner to be her cheerleader. And I want that relationship to be secure enough for her to attempt whatever goals she decides to dedicate herself to. That's kind of at the heart of the modern American marriage. We want a partner to help us become our best selves, kind of to help us self actualize. Like when Jerry Maguire says that line in the movie where he wants his partner to help him be the me I've always wanted to be. But that is a tall order for a romantic partner or for anyone in our personal life, because we also want a partner to make us feel loved, safe, and secure. And that means that they have to communicate their love and acceptance for the version of us that stands before them, the one they have today. To help us become tomorrow's version, we place them in somewhat of a double bind where they have to acknowledge a difference between today's version and the version of us that we are capable of becoming. For that, they need to be able to see us through a critical lens. And that, my friend, can be very rough, both on the receiving end and certainly on the messenger's end. Lots of us say we want feedback, but let's be honest, most people really can't handle it. I know this because I have made a living branding myself as the therapist who will give it to you straight. People do not come to me unless they are prepared to hear the truth. They know who I am before they've found me. They have vetted me. And even with all the publications that I've been in and all the media that I've done throughout the years, all the examples they can see of me being very direct, I will occasionally get a new client who can't tolerate hearing how they're participating in creating their life, which is why I've got a 30-day trial, because I am not the right person for that kind of client. I don't want to work with someone who's not willing to allow me to speak truthfully, even though I'm getting paid. And people in our personal lives who are not getting paid are even less inclined than I am to broadcast a message that their loved one is disinclined to receive, which is why this notion that our partners should love us for who we are and also nurture us towards our potential is paradoxical. It's why I say we ask too much of our partners. Intimate relationships are supposed to make us feel safe, and there is nothing safe about growth. Growth requires a critical lens, and there is nothing sexy about the sharp edges of truth. It's really hard to do while simultaneously making someone feel valued, loved, and secure in the relationship. Which brings me back to the incongruence of what we expect from our partners. So, how do we free our partners from this double bind? The way I see it, we have two options. We can either request that our partners make us feel safe, supported, and loved, or we ask our partners to help motivate us into becoming the version of ourselves that we hope one day to become. I think in the vast majority of cases, we don't get both. And I say that because there are certainly some people who are outliers who can handle hearing their partner's truth and who also happen to have partners with really sophisticated communication skills. So the truth doesn't rock the foundation of their security, either in themselves or in their relationship. I think the one thing probably happens in tandem with the other. It's rare that you would find someone who is just capable of hearing the truth, no matter how brutally offered it is. I think it's usually a combination of person has the ego strength to handle the truth, and they happen to have a partner who has some good communication skills. But that's just not most of us. And it is really not most of our partners. So it comes down to choosing one, which means we have to sacrifice the other. But here's the good news. You actually don't need your partner to be your coach or your therapist. You can outsource those jobs, and you should. You deserve to get the motivation you need consistently. You just may have to look to a professional for that service, or to a friend, or a mentor, or your colleagues. Which brings me back to the talk with my daughter. Maybe it's too much to expect her person to be her life coach, but I still think it's okay to expect a cheerleader. My daughter is responsible for generating her own fuel throughout her life, but I want her partnered with someone strong enough to let her become everything she is capable of being and wants to become. I want a partner for her who is not threatened by her abilities, who's willing to allow her to shine so bright that they might occasionally find themselves in her shadow, or consistently. So while it may be too much to ask for her partner to be her everything, a coach, a therapist, a motivator, I still want her partner to tell her that he believes in her, that he knows she can do anything she puts her mind to. And if that's asking too much, I guess I'm guilty of it too. We Need to Talk with Dr. Darcy Sterling is a Sterling Standard production. Editing and sound engineering by Bart Migal. Our theme music is by Trending Music. Special thanks to Amanda Christiani and Preston Smith. If this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone you love. We'll be back on Tuesday with another episode packed with the relationship, dating, and mental health hacks you have come to expect. Take care of yourself.